Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done a video, so I thought I should put something up. So I just recorded myself playing Guild Wars 2, and I'm just gonna talk, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really play this game that much anymore, and all I'm gonna do in this is just a pretty basic farming run. I don't even remember what the location on the map is called, but if you play the game you'll probably recognize the area. This is the place I go to just to do some pretty basic farming because you don't have to fight a lot, so there's a pretty good balance of risk reward here. I can just kind of freely just go get stuff without having to really worry about anything attacking me, or at least anything, super high level attacking me, and I don't have to worry about very many mobs or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, it's been, I don't know, a long time since I logged in. If you play the game, you'll probably know by now that for a while they have this rewards thing where you get a different reward for every day you log in. I think I'm on day 14 because I rarely ever play it anymore. But it's actually pretty relaxing because you can be kind of docile while playing it. You don't have to pay attention very much, which is kind of why I don't play it anymore. I don't play a lot of games anymore at all. Kind of sad actually, because I used to be really into that, and now I barely touch anything. Really, there's maybe one game a year that I really get into. Like, I don't know what it's going to be this year. I hope it's going to be Uncharted 4, because I think that game's going to live up to the hype, absolutely. But last year, I fell in love with Life is Strange, and a lot of people did, so certainly not unique. But the game itself is just... I love any game that's based on narrative. And of course, Telltale is really well known for that sort of thing, and I'm glad to see other companies kind of go in that direction. Telltale and I forget the other company's name. Quantum Dream. I think Quantum Dream. You know what I'm talking about? The company with David Cage. I love Beyond Two Souls as well. I know that game kind of had mixed reviews. Overall, the reviews were pretty good, I think, but I loved that game. I played it like 3 or 4 times. I just like anything that can really immerse you that much, and if anything, that game, I think it's really the acting that carried it all through. You've got Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe, so, actual Hollywood actors, big names, just dominating these roles. It was really refreshing, and yeah, I definitely want to see more of that sort of thing. But anyways, back to the other games I was talking about. So yeah, I really liked Life is Strange because I felt it was kind of a mix between... It wasn't quite like a Quantum Dream game, or it wasn't quite like Beyond Two Souls or anything like that, but it seemed very familiar because you had a lot more freedom than, say, the Telltale games or something. Like, for the most part you could roam around pretty freely. Anyways, yeah, it was really the story that carried that game through for me, and the character immersion. It was one of those games where when you're done playing it for the first time, you feel like you're actually leaving those characters behind, which is kind of sad. It's like a new best friend or something you'll never see again or something. Yeah, and like I said, a big fan of the Telltale games. I played a few of the series. Probably most recent was Borderlands, which I loved because when a video game tries to be funny, sometimes it can come off as a little forced, but this game was genuinely hilarious, and I absolutely loved it, and it just felt very natural, didn't feel forced or anything. And I know Gearbox had originally hired writers for Borderlands that created all sorts of great narrative and everything, and it didn't really get to come out in Borderlands 1 and 2. Those games really aren't very much about narrative. Some of it's there, but you have to kind of dig really deep for that. Whereas in the Telltale games, of course it's all narrative, and so you get to see a lot more of that. Actually, I forgot, back in December I played Walking Dead Season 2 again, just because I think I like Season 2 over Season 1, because Season 1 just, I don't know, the ending is very sad and not in a good way, whereas I feel like Season 2, the ending can be kind of happy, depending on your decisions, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, so I'm not gonna talk about it much more. But yeah, and Beyond Two Souls, like I said, I think it's really the characters that carry it through, because I feel like David Cage is the Tommy Wiseau of video games. Like, it's his company that made it. I believe he was the one who founded the company, and he's the one who writes all the stuff and held the script for that game. I saw a picture of it. It's like 2,000 pages or something. So, yeah, he's that kind of guy. And I feel like, he talks about, like, video games don't have to be violent and stuff, and there's a lot of violence in Beyond Two Souls. Granted, that wasn't the focus at all of the game, but there was quite a bit. Not that I mind it, it's just that's, it kind of goes away from, I think, David Cage's intended purpose, which was to have something that's friendly for everyone, even, old grandmas and grandpas who have never played a game in their life or something, that they can just pick it up and enjoy it. And I like that idea that you can just bring in new players to a game, something they haven't done before, and they can just hop right in no matter who they are or what their experience with gaming is. Which is also why they have the phone app, and I forget about this, but Beyond Two Souls actually has an app you can get for your phone. So if you're new to video games and you're not comfortable with a controller, you can just control everything from your phone, which is pretty cool, because everyone has a phone, so everyone's, more comfortable with that than they are a controller usually. Yeah, so another game I haven't talked about yet, which I fell in love with in 2013, was The Last of Us. And how many times are we going to hear a zombie story anymore? And the old trope of, it's not about the zombies, it's about the people and their struggle. Yeah, we get it, we've seen it a million times. So it's refreshing to me when someone's able to take a tired out genre like that and make it something more than that, if you know what I mean. Like, again, it's not even so much about the story as it is the characters, and that's what I really like. Because a lot of things like do that, hell, even, Walking Dead, it's all about the characters as well, but there's just something about The Last of Us where I think because it has more of a limited scope of characters, it's mainly just Joel and Ellie and the few people they run into along the way. So they're able to spend more time developing those characters, I guess. And then I played Left Behind the day it came out, as a good way to, well, it was really sad when I finished that, because I kind of figured that that's the last time I'll ever touch anything or ever experience anything new to do with The Last of Us. But, that's okay because, I know Naughty Dog's been back and forth as to whether or not they're going to make a Last of Us 2. And, of course, there's mixed feelings about that from everyone. It's everyone wants to visit that world again, but everyone also doesn't want to drag on something that's clearly finished. The story is clearly done. But yeah, so yeah, I hope you don't mind me ranting just about that. But if you notice, the gameplay is pretty choppy. I don't know why. It wasn't nearly that choppy at all when I was playing it. I'm talking about the footage from Guild Wars that you're watching now. Yeah, it wasn't this choppy when I was playing it. I think I just have terrible screen recording software, and it never matches my screen's resolution, and I have to hook up the audio in a weird way to get it to record from the computer, and everything is just kind of a pain. But if you have any suggestions for good screen recording software for Mac OS X, let me know. On Windows I use Bandicam. Not Fraps, surprisingly. I chose Bandicam for some reason, I don't remember why, but I've been happy with that. However, I'm rarely on Windows. I'm only on Windows for drafting applications like AutoCAD and Revit and stuff like that. Otherwise, I tend to stay on the Mac side of things because I like a lot of Apple exclusive software like Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro. I use Logic Pro. I have used Logic Pro since 2011, I believe. I'm still stuck on Logic Pro 9. Actually, I feel like I'm an old man who just doesn't want to accept change, doesn't want to upgrade to Logic Pro 10 because I don't want to spend the hour or 2 hours that it actually takes to learn the differences between 9 and 10. Although I'm sure it is overall better software, but I'll get around to it someday. But for now, I just use Logic Pro 9 for all my audio stuff. And I've been using Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I shockingly don't use Adobe Premiere because I have the Adobe media bundle thing back before it was Creative Cloud, and back when you could actually buy the software and not do the whole monthly subscription thing. So I have the Creative Suite 6, which was the last one they did before Creative Cloud came out. And I still use that all the time. But yeah, I don't use Premiere because I'm just so used to Final Cut Pro and iMovie from way back in the day, and then upgraded to Final Cut Pro, and it's kind of similar in as far as the UI goes. Final Cut Pro is far more advanced than iMovie, and I'm sure I don't use nearly the capabilities that it has, but anyway, like I said about Logic Pro 9, I feel like I'm just unwilling to accept change and upgrade to something better or something more efficient. So I need to get Logic Pro 10, but as far as like Adobe software goes, I'm a little bit ashamed to admit most of the graphic design stuff I do, just in general, I make it all in Flash. And I feel like it's not something I should admit too loudly because Flash isn't used for very much anymore. It's used exclusively, I'd say, or so it seems. It's used almost exclusively for video animation. No one's using it for websites anymore. That died off years ago. And it's certainly, as far as graphic design goes, not nearly as capable as, say, Illustrator. But I'm just, again, I've used Flash for so many years for animation purposes that even if I'm not making animation, if I have almost any sort of design thing to do, layout, or whether I'm just working on something for fun, I do it all in Flash. But the nice thing about that is that if I do want to animate something, well, it's all ready to go. I don't have to try and export the layers out from Illustrator or something and plug it into Flash and figure it out from there. I can just, it's all created in Flash, so it's all ready to be animated, and I do that quite a bit. In fact, if you look at my first 2 videos on this channel, were just some animations I did with some ASMR themed music and soundscapes and stuff, just messing around. But yeah, those are all animations created in Flash. The sound and the audio was created in Logic Pro 9, and oh, appears I'm almost done here. Yeah, so you'll notice I have quite a bit of lemongrass in my inventory. Lemongrass used to sell for a lot, like 17 or 18 silver or something, maybe even over 20 silver at one point. Crazy. But now it's nowhere near that, so I'm just holding on to it, not selling it, in case the price goes up again. Then I'll be loaded. Well, not really, because it's not like I have that much lemongrass anyway. But yeah, so got the cayenne peppers too. I always, for some reason, I always want to call them Kanye peppers. Like, I'm gonna let you finish, but Kanye peppers are the spiciest peppers ever. But yeah. So at the end of all the farming runs, I just try to sell everything I can, and apparently, I don't remember this happening before, but apparently you can only like sell so many things at a time, I guess, now. That used to not be like that, but whatever, I'm sure there's a reason for it. I'll just do that later. Anyway, thanks for listening to me rambling. I'll see you all soon, I guess, hopefully. Bye.